gentlemen, while Doom would get the glory, Wolfenstein 3D would set the stage for the first-person shooter genre as a whole. And while Doom WODs would get all the modding glory, there are still a great many Wolfenstein 3D modders out there making great and excellent games that sadly go a bit unnoticed. But not today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no! For the mighty General shall be showing you for your viewing pleasure, Operation Gral! Operation Gral is a standalone mod using the Wolfenstein 3D engine. It can be found on ModDB, and all you have to do is extract the archive and either play it full screen or windowed. Keep in mind, you may get a false positive depending on what antivirus software you use. It was developed by Riot Esper and released on September 7th, 2018. Operation Gral's gameplay is a more refined version of the gameplay seen in the original Wolfenstein 3D. There is no way that I can find to get the bloody mouse to work, so for those who remember them, it's time to welcome back your old friend Tank Controls. And if you are a bloody whipsnap, it's time to see what existed before everyone was spoiled with WASD controls. In Operation Gral, you do just two things. Kill members of the National Socialist German Workers' Party and collect keys. Simple, effective, and insanely addicting. Unlike in Doom, you cannot just run and gun. Rather, you need to cautiously open each door and turn each corner. For if you blunder about like a charging brute, you will be riddled with bullets faster than you can say how Horst Wessel lied. You really have to use cover and let the enemy come to you in order to stay alive. Even then, expect to die, and die a lot. And really expect to have your hands turn into immovable claws after a couple hours of gameplay, cause Panzerkampfwagen controls suck. In Operation Gral, you have all new weapons. You got some new pistols, and of course you can dual wield them John Woo style. Your go-to gun will of course be the SMG. Now, as we all know, the Germans were very, very advanced in World War II. They simply did not use the same technologies that everyone else did, you see. I mean, bluing, that's just 19th century crap, man. Parkerization, Yankee science. The Germans, they use solid gold plating! That's right, the MP40 is gold-plated. Blang blang! The BP40 submachine gun is excellent all around, in addition to looking fabulous. It has a controllable rate of fire, and it's good for taking down just about everything short of bosses. The chain gun makes a return from Wolf 3D, but it has been upgraded with a rockin' red paint job, and actually has recoil and animated barrels. It blows through ammo quite fast, which is rather deleterious, as like in Wolf 3D, you have one shared ammo pool. This weapon should only be used in emergencies against groups of Soldaten and bosses. If you do ever run out of ammo, BJ has up-armed himself with something from Glorious Nippon. That's right, he's got a katana. Hey! How you doing? It would seem that he was either deployed to the Pacific Theater of Operations, where he faced an evil version of Iwata that wanted to make booby-trapped versions of NESs to sell to the American children that would literally make their brains explode. Come on, modders, make that plot a reality. Or, you know, he popped over to the local non-communist Comic-Con and picked it up because BJ is secretly a weeb. All that aside, the weapon works decently but is very situational. If you shout "Banzai" and charge, you will quickly find out why Banzai charges didn't work in real life either. Graphics and animations for the game are positively jaw-dropping. For the Wolf 3D engine at least. You have textured floors and roofs, and there are even windows! Oh my god! It's the future, and there are numerous well-realized level details. All of the weapons have new models that look far better than their original PC counterparts, but they are less graphically complex than their Mac versions. Personally, I like this compromise as it allows the game to straddle the line between nostalgia and better graphics. The enemies are all new as well and have numerous excellent details and slightly better animations. The animations on the firearms are excellent, and the gun sway almost brings a tear to my eye to how smooth they are. The weapon switching is also quite smooth as well. BJ's face has been replaced with a slightly more detailed one. It's rather funny though, as it looks like BJ got a new actor when the old one dropped out to go do theater. The levels in Operation Gral are quite large and are jam-packed with secrets, but one must be careful though, as some of the secret rooms have guards in them. I wonder what caused these guys to get relegated to secret room guard duty. Did they make fun of Addie's mustache? Or possibly did they complain about the massively high tax rate in National Socialist Germany? Hey, you know, the money's gotta come from somewhere. Sounds have been improved all across the board. The guards sound way less compressed, and the guns all sound quite powerful. And as a complete PC nerd, I find it fun to name all the different games that the new sound effects come from. The most notable sound effect is the door closing sound. It comes from Heretic. Speaking of playing Spot the Sound, it's time to play Spot the Song! The entire soundtrack is taken from a wide variety of sources. The first song you hear is Bloody Tears from Castlevania II. The next is Paranoid from Black Sabbath, and eventually in the game you'll hear Rufus's theme from Final Fantasy VII. And I'm gonna be honest here, had it not been for a fan telling me, I would have had no idea what that song was. The music for the game is pretty good, but I still have to question the logic of using Bloody Tears, as it's really distinctive and doesn't really fit the Wolfenstein universe. As this is a mod for Wolfenstein 3D, there are a few bits of programming annoyance. One, the music is rather loud, and there is no way to lower it other than going into Windows Sounds. And by far the most annoying is the fact that you have to manually save every bloody time. And since this game can kill you in an instant, you'll be saving every couple of seconds. It's tedious, it's annoying, but since this game is so good, it is a necessary evil that can be forgiven. The mod also allows you to put up a crosshair that doesn't really do all that much, as this is Wolfenstein 3D, and your shots generally go in the general direction that you generally shoot. But it's a nice detail nevertheless. If you find the gameplay for Wolf 3D too old and obsolete, I still recommend giving the mod a try, as the gameplay has been tweaked and refined to the point where it is nowhere near as stiff as it was in the original game. The modders for the game really went all out in creating a classical experience, and that is of course extended to the story. You can just avoid the story entirely and get right to killing, or you can select read this and read the rather well-written story for the game. When I say well-written, I don't just mean well-written for a game. I mean it's close to novel quality. In the game, you play as BJ Blazkowicz, and prior to the events of Operation Gral, you find yourself troubled by visions of a victorious Hitler. It's quite amazing how well the modders nailed down just what BJ would be going through mentally after fighting the German military like he was. Eventually you learn that unlike in Wolf New Order, you were victorious in stopping the National Socialist state, and that now a remnant chapter of the National Socialists have taken over a castle and have found and secured the Holy Grail. Your mission is to sneak into the castle and shoot everything and take back the Grail before it can be used for nefarious purposes. The rest of the story bit is quite good as well, as it sets up the events just prior to the start of the game, and shows that Fergus exists in this universe. We also get a hot female agent that is going in with Blasco as well. Overall, this manual story harkens back to the days when games actually came with printed manuals that really got the imagination fired up. The manual also has some hints and describes the various enemies and things of that nature. All told, the manual is every bit as high quality as the game itself. And so, that is Operation Gral, a mod that shows that Wolfenstein 3D might be old, but it's just not yet completely obsolete. And so, I am GeneralLotz, wishing you good Brutal Wolf, and good Operation Rheingold, or whatever makes you happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and if you can, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue bringing you this awesome content.